Anthony, to keep with my my routine of doing horrible puns all week long, I think we're going to cruise right through this show.
Nice haircut.
Thank you.
I'm Anthony. Welcome to No Vacancy Live. That's my friend Glenn.
You're watching the #1 show in hospitality. Hey everybody, Glenn Hausman here with the incredible Anthony Melchiori joining us once again on our show every single day here on No Vacancy Live. Anthony, I hate to correct you, but I did not get a haircut. I just got a little aggressive with the the hair gel stuff.
I thought so, but I just said I didn't have anything to say, so I figured it was a haircut. But, hey man, whatever works for you. You look handsome as ever.
Hey, thank you. I'm excited because we're going to be talking about cruising in just a little while, Anthony. And
we said there's two indicators that will tell you that the industry's back and the world is back: Broadway and cruise ships.
Right. And as I was telling you yesterday on the phone, I got myself some Hamilton tickets for October 2nd. I'm really excited about that.
And you got them in a bargain.
I got. Yes, I had to actually. We came home after that night. My kids came home. We sat them down at dinner, and we're like, "Guys, good news and bad news. Good news, we're going to see Hamilton. Not with you guys, just mom." Bad news is we're gonna have to rethink this college education.
Well, listen, when the original cast was in Hamilton, my daughter graduated college or high school. She was going to the theater for college, and I bought her 2 Hamilton tickets. She chose not to buy her. I bought them anyway. It was $700 a piece. I spent $1,400 to send my daughter to Broadway to see Hamilton, and I'm telling you, it's the best $1,400 I've ever spent in my life. It was her reaction. She talked about it for a year. It was great. Now I heard through the grapevine, being you, that you paid about half of that. So in about a week, those prices are going to be back up to $1,400.
Oh my God. I mean, I'm just really lucky we got them. The way I was able to get them is my wife was like, oh my God, tickets, get them now. And I'm used to getting tickets from, having to get online with Ticketmaster and dealing with that stuff. So I got in there, I got those tickets, and I got great seats, and I'm really excited about it.
And I'm sure if your wife watches this show, she'll love that you described the way she reacted was tickets.
Yes. Well, 2 things. She did act that way. And number 2, she does not watch this show. So we don't have to worry about that.
Does she even know you do a show?
I don't think my family really understands quite what I do for a living, even though for a year they were in this house listening to me every day as we were doing our show. So,
yeah, but you know what? Like the same thing with me. I'm in the corner of my house and I lock the door, close the door. No one has an idea. All I know is I go outside sometimes to the pool. And just for effect, yesterday, my daughter's friends were over because her ACL came over to say hi. And I had my suit on, but I wear shorts. And I put socks and loafers on for effect. Right. So I said, girls, I haven't seen you forever. And they just all look at me and go, you will never change. Go,
That's too funny. Hey, Michael says, I didn't throw away a shot. No, I was not. And I can't wait to be in the room where it happens. So a little Hamilton line there for you. Guys, you know how much we love our friends over at Ecotech Waste, right? Eco Technology's got this great product. The Tellurian basket now coming in both white and black for you. Events are coming back. What a great way to make it easier on your team, help the environment, all that kind of good stuff. Go to Eco-Tech. Get 10% off your first purchase. Tell them No Vacancy sent you. And yeah, you can buy them on Amazon.com. Don't do that. Save money. Go to eco-techwaste.com. Get that discount. Tell them we sent you, and tell everybody, Tom, hey, how are you? We love the guys over at No Vacancy. Anthony, you ready to talk cruising today?
Yeah, I use that thing all the time. Cruising. I want to cruise. Let's go.
All right. Bill Panoff, he runs Portal Magazine, also the parent company for it, where he's the CEO. Bill, so great you could join us today, my friend.
Thank you for the invite. This is awesome. Great to meet you guys, and great to connect and talk about the future of cruising, which is very bright, by the way.
Yeah, I'm excited about it. To be honest with you, I almost canceled the show when I saw how great your image looked, because I'm feeling a little threatened here, Bill.
Well, actually,
you look good. Listen, you're in the Caribbean. You've got the ship behind you. The sun is setting. You're missing the pina colada. I wish I was you.
Well, 2 things. 1, it looks like you're in the hull of the ship because of the mood lighting. And 2, try to look into the camera, Bill, so it doesn't look at. There you go.
I will.
Look how pretty you are. Look
Well,
how
the problem
pretty
is
you
he can't keep his eyes off your sexy face there.
Hold on,
Anthony.
hold on, hold on.
Yeah.
I don't blame him.
Is that okay?
Yeah.
Okay.
So Bill, let me ask you a question.
Sure.
Just kind of an overview, and we'll give you time to just go through it. Where
Sure.
is the world with cruising? Where are we?
So first of all, the pandemic obviously put a tremendous Band-Aid on cruising. Cruising is coming back. The pent-up demand for cruising is unreal. There are so many, through our magazine, we have so many people that want to get out there, and the only way they can right now is to read about it in our magazine or watch our videos. Cruising is coming back in a big way. There are ships launching in the next few months, not from the U.S., but from ports like Nassau, St. Martin, ships out of Bermuda. They're doing non-U.S. ports at the moment because the CDC hasn't, given them permission to sail from U.S. waters. But that will happen very soon as well. So the future is very bright. It's been a long road. It's been very tough for the industry, but the loyal following of cruisers will keep it going, and it will come back even bigger and better than ever.
What's the pacing of bookings, though? Like, I would imagine cruise ships are available to book for next year. What's the pacing?
The bookings are actually, the Norwegian ship just came online, the new one, and apparently they had more bookings on that ship than any other ship in the history of Norwegian Cruise Line. Ooh. Bookings are out of control. And initially the cruise lines were going to limit the number of guests on the ships because of, social distancing and CDC, but some of those rules are changing now. So hopefully there'll be enough ships for the demand. Demand is off the roof. I mean, there are more and more ships coming out, and they're filling up like crazy. I mean, what an amazing vacation. Where else can you go where the scenery changes several times during the week? Your food is included, your entertainment is included. There's no more affordable vacation out there that I can think of, and I think the consumer feels the same way.
Well, two things. One question is, and then a statement. The question is, I would imagine you have to be vaccinated. And two, Glenn, can you please tell him the most affordable place to go this summer?
Most affordable place summer? You mean the Houseman Resort Pool Club and Smokehouse?
Yes, sir. Very affordable. Very affordable. So will you need vaccination cards to get on the cruise ship? Say yes. Please say yes.
This is still a gray area. Some of the cruise lines are demanding that you be vaccinated before you sail. Some of them are saying, no, you don't have to be vaccinated. So it's still a gray area. It hasn't been entirely defined yet, but I think more and more are leaning towards having a vaccination to permit you to go on board the ship.
Right. Can I guess that Royal Caribbean, you have to be vaccinated, and I don't want to say which other one don't have to be vaccinated. Which ones you have to be vaccinated right now? Which ones?
I believe Royal is one of them that is requiring it. Norwegian was requiring it. Some of the others are not. Depends on the ship, depends on where the ships are sailing from, depends on the size of the ship. Right. But I think it's all going to come in line through CLIA, Cruise Line International Association. They're going to bring it all under one umbrella where everybody does the same. So there's still some cruise lines operating differently than others, but eventually it will all be one rule, I think, that you have to follow, hopefully.
Well, one thing that I've seen is Disney is doing some cruises out of the UK, I believe, like 2 big cruises and stuff, and they're requiring the vaccine for anyone of eligible age and older. I think this is one of those things that we're going to have for a little while, might fade into the distance as everybody gets more comfortable. But Bill, one of the things about cruises is it's always kind of had hiccups because of Legionnaire's disease and other sorts of things. So they've got to be extra super duper careful. So how are they approaching things going forward to make sure that they get their hygienic messages across? Because the hotel industry has done a great job about it, but I see them kind of keeping that forward to keep that confidence up for a while.
Ironically enough, the cruise industry was one of the first industries that started using hand sanitizer long before any other hospitality industries. And they've taken this COVID thing very, very seriously. I mean, cruise ships have always been a safe way to travel, but now they've added, new ventilation systems, social distancing, and they're really extremely careful. They have huge medical facilities on board now in the event there is an outbreak, but they're being so proactive about this entire thing. They don't want to have a repeat of what happened before. So I believe cruising is still the safest way to travel. It's going to be even safer when things, return to normal, but they are not going to take their eye off the 8 ball. It will cost them too much. And they're very, very cautious about that.
In my opinion, you're already seeing hotels kind of, their protocols are getting a little bit more lax. I already see it. It was a reaction to something. Some of the higher end chains will keep it. Some you'll start losing it because of expense. in cruise ships, I haven't been on a cruise in a long time, but there were hand sanitizers everywhere because there's been outbreaks on cruise ships for a while.
Yep.
And
There has.
people reacted to that. So cruise ships have to be really, 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 really careful. And unfortunately, I know someone close to me that will never go on a cruise again, but I'm ready to go on a cruise. But I will only pick a very good cruise. I'll pay a little bit more money, but a 4.5-star kind of cruise ship that I know is putting the money into really being clean and safe and protect my family.
Sure. And one thing the ships are doing, and many of them own their own or lease their own, the private islands. Holland America, for example, has an island called Half Moon Cay. Princess has Princess Cay. Disney has Castaway Cay. And these are private islands that are self-contained. So when the ships pull up to these islands, many of them dock, some of them anchor and tender people ashore. You have a self-contained environment that's extremely safe. So you'll see more and more ships utilizing their private islands post-COVID than they ever did before.
Bill, one of the things that really troubles me about the entire private island thing is we can't come up with whether or not we pronounce it key or K regularly. Could you?
It depends on where you're from. I've said both, and I've been corrected both times. So yeah, that's a good one. I know.
So Bill, before we get into the nitty gritty, and you have to answer the question directly. Favorite cruise you've ever taken?
Favorite cruise
you've ever taken?
Favorite cruise I have ever taken is to Alaska. With my daughter. That was her first cruise, and my obviously my 50th or 60th cruise. But that to me was an amazing experience for her to experience cruising, for the first time to a region that is so unspoiled like Alaska. That was extremely exciting.
You would tell me about your first cruise.
Well, I started in the cruise industry. I started working on ships as a professional magician. I always wanted to work on cruise ships ever since the TV show The Love Boat. You guys remember The Love Boat?
Hey, look,
with Julie McCoy.
So I was behind it.
Yeah, so I used to watch that show, and I said, you know what? I want to go on a ship. I love the lifestyle on board, and I want to take my magic act on board ships. So Carnival was the first cruise line that hired me as a professional magician. I do sleight of hands. I do cards. Matter of fact, I have my cards right here. They're always with me. I'm always doing this kind of stuff. Pick a card, any card. But anyway, so apart from the magic, after a few years, they promoted me to cruise director. So I actually worked on the ships for 12 years. I was, in a sense, Julie McCoy. As a matter of fact, I had a T-shirt made that says, "My name is not Julie McCoy." I used to walk around the ships, So I've grown up in this business. I've seen the cruise industry grow from Carnival with 3 ships to taking over most of the industry with Princess, Holland America, Seabourn, P&O, Cunard. And the industry has grown dramatically. It's become more technological savvy. People, but still enjoy, though, what they enjoyed back then is that one-on-one experience with the crew, the interaction with the waiter or the busboy or the person who looks after your stateroom. Those are the people that really make the ship. And that won't change no matter how the cruise industry evolves. That interaction with the personalities on board is what brings the people back.
So, Bill, when you left the job as cruise director, were you replaced by Ted McGinley? That's what I
No. They had to pull me off the ship. I met my first wife at the time. She worked on board. She was a croupier in the casino.
Fun.
And at that time, casino croupiers had to share a cabin. She shared the cabin with 3 other girls. She had 4 croupiers in one cabin. I mean, it was crazy. And I was the cruise director, and I had my own private stateroom. So the joke is that she married me for the size of my cabin.
There's a joke, and a really bad joke in there somewhere. Now you made me lose my train of thought because that was such a.
You mean your ship of thought? We're talking cruising.
Ship of thought, yeah.
All right, so let me get back into it.
Sure.
Cruising has really grown in a lot of popularity, and I'm talking about pre-COVID, and we've already established it's going to be as popular as ever. Why people flock to cruising in such masses, and was it that they just started turning on, or was it more demand? More like supply that was out there that satisfied demand. What is really behind powering the cruise business?
You're talking about post-COVID or just pre-COVID?
No, I want to understand
in general
where we came from to understand where we're going to. And guys, I see some of your questions coming in. We'll get to those in just a minute. Yep, Bill.
People are attracted to this. First of all, people are attracted to the sea. They love the ocean. They love the idea of being able to visit multiple ports and destinations in the course of a 7-day or a 14-day cruise. And it's a great way to get from point A to point B by unpacking once. And it's very, very affordable. I mean, honestly, it's addictive. Once you're out there, the entertainment on board parallels the entertainment that you see on Broadway. I mean, they have great shows. I know you mentioned Hamilton earlier. You know, you can see the Jersey Boys on board some of the ships. You can see amazing entertainment. You know, so it's the entertainment, it's the activities, it's the ports of call, and it's the seamlessness of the experience to board once, unpack once, and then get off the ship and unpack, and you're back home. It's an amazing opportunity to visit and to sample a lot of these ports. And what happens is a lot of people sample them for the first time via ship and fall in love with some of these ports and then return to those ports as a land-based vacation.
Yeah, what I like about cruising, what I was attracted to is my brain doesn't get shut off very often, except for sleep. I love being able to get on a cruise ship and just, I don't think. I know where I'm going for entertainment. I know where I'm going for food. I know where I'm working out. I know I'm going to have to relax because there's a lot to do, but there's a lot of relaxing too. And the ports of calls are always a surprise. And I just love the fact it's the only time I've ever been on vacation where I don't have to worry about anything, because especially when you're traveling with a family, it's like, where are we going to eat? How much money are we going to spend? What kind of hotel are we going to stay in? Then we got to get on another plane. Then we got to, we have the passports and the driver's license. It's like I always said when I ran Nickelodeon, you came to Nickelodeon Resorts, you sat there by the pool and watched your kids be entertained. When you go to Disney World, you got to work. You know, I love Disney, but you got to work when you're in Disney.
You got to work.
When you go on vacation, you're working. I don't want to work when I'm on vacation.
Right. No, agreed. And even if you bring your family, I mean, a lot of these ships are suitably accustomed to handling kids, these children programs, kids counselors. Disney has a massive area just for children of different ages. So you can let them off in the morning. They give you a little beeper, and if they need you, they just beep you, and you never see your child until dinner that evening.
Yeah, I'm still mad at my kids because when we put them on the Disney cruise ship, my twins, and we put them in there, it was the first time, like 2 or 3 years, that we had a break. And my wife's like, no way, I'm not putting them in there. I was like, come on, let's do it. So we put them in there. I swear to God, we walk out, we go down, we go to sit our butts in the chair to eat dinner. The beeper goes off, we're done. Not only they didn't want to stay, they weren't allowed to stay.
Oh no! What happened? What did they do?
They were they were good kids. They just wouldn't stop. And until we got them under control, which we couldn't. So actually, I was just telling you the other day, we have never gone on a vacation in 20. My oldest are 21. My twins never been on a vacation by ourselves.
Wow.
Yeah. Wow.
Funny thing, guys. Anthony, the same exact thing happened to me on the Disney Magic. This is going back 9-10 years ago when my kids were like 9 or 10 years old. We put them in the room and they're like, no. They wouldn't stay there no matter what we did. Here we wanted to go on this particular ship because of their focus on taking care of the kids. And then they didn't want to stick around.
And I hope Disney's as they build more cruise ships, that they build bigger pools. Well, I was shocked with how small the pool was. I was shocked.
We got to take this into the Disney Wish then, right? Disney's brand new cruise ship. It just started doing sales for future sailings. I think it's next year it's going to make its debut. What an incredible ship this looks like, including like a suite in the porthole and stuff like that. But we'll talk about the ship in a second. And then, guys, again, I know I saw your questions and some of the other stuff. We'll get to those in a minute. But how is that symbolic to you about where we're headed right now in the cruise industry, that they're out there, they're selling rooms, and the inaugural cruising and a bunch of others seem to already be sold out in like 36 hours?
Yeah, I mean, there's more shit, and then the order book of ships coming out over the next couple of years is phenomenal. And Disney Wish, of course, is one of them. And Disney has an amazing following of obviously families that not only take the cruise, but they combine it with the park, and they do the park, and they do the cruise, and they do the park. I mean, there are people I've met that have been on Disney cruises, 8 or 9 times during the year. It's addictive. They love it. They love meeting the characters. And the beauty of Disney, I mean, on board the ships, the movies that they release on the Disney ships, the movies they show in the staterooms and in the theaters, are released at the same time that they release them in the theaters ashore. So you have a sneak peek at these movies and to meet the characters and the food and the cuisine on Disney is quite good. They have some amazing restaurants on some of their newer ships, alternative restaurants. And it's really an amazing experience. They really do it right. Disney
The most
does
important,
not miss a detail.
are they going to have casinos?
They will not have casinos. No, Disney will not have casinos.
I will never go on a Disney cruise ship. I remember being stuck there, and I was like, at night when everybody's sleeping, I want to go, gamble a little bit. And I couldn't gamble, and I was like, all right, that's a no for me, dog.
But they do have bingo. You can play bingo on board.
I play bingo when I'm upstate at the Catskills. I don't want to play bingo on the cruise ship. So that's the cruise ship. Can we see the staterooms? That just looks like a bigger regular Disney cruise.
We can, but that means we have to find those pictures. So
that's the wish. Yeah. As Glenn was saying, they have a suite that's built in the funnel, which is the smokestack. It's the first. I've never heard of that on any ship. So that's going to be a massive suite that's available, and you can just live in the smokestack for the week, overlooking the pool deck. It looks phenomenal.
Wow.
And by the way, Anthony, in regards to no casino, you can still play poker no matter what. So
what do you mean you can play poker? There's no casino.
You don't have to have a casino for you to hook up with some people and play some poker.
Yeah, that's not fun, man. Why would they go to the casino? Disney does everything. Disney's in every friggin' business. All of a sudden, they decide not to go in the casino business. Why is that? I want to know. I need answers, Bill.
I don't know. I don't think it fits into their marketing, plan.
Yeah.
Family oriented casinos.
I mean, I agree with you. I love casinos too, especially on cruise ships.
Yeah.
But
listen, I think it all went out the window for me when everywhere you go, whether it be Broadway or cruise ship or whatever, you're always being dropped off in the middle of a souvenir shop where you spend $5,000. So if they were family friendly, they would have prices that were family friendly.
All right. So Anthony, Disney used to.
I love Disney. Am I bashing Disney?
They had some stuff that dealt with casinos, like when they bought Lucasfilm. Lucasfilm had deals for slot machines and stuff like that. They had all these great Star Wars machines. Yeah. All of that stuff went away because Disney
went away.
To do with the gambling culture.
Yeah. And I love Disney. I love Disney cruises, but my kids are older now, so I'm on to the me cruise ships.
But listen, man, you're gonna get back to it. Those grandkiddies one day, right? So
as long as they have casinos, I'm going taking my grandkids.
All right.
Well, you go to Atlantic City. Atlantic City is still active. That's not far from you, right?
I travel a lot, so I've been to every poker room in probably the country.
Wow.
Borgata is they've been open, but there's no tournaments. There's just cash. But anyway, what's going on with Virgin cruise ship?
Yeah, right. Brian Lips got the question. Will they open up a
complete
for the customers? And also, this is one of the questions that I wanted to get to. He had also wanted to know what your thoughts are on the new cruise line. Now, they were all ready to go, and then COVID happened. So, what do you think about the concept and its place in the business?
I think the concept is sound. I think they actually had a media cruise that was canceled. We were ready to go. It was over here, and then but they did have a small media sampling in the UK, and now one of the ships has been repositioned there, and we'll be doing cruises out of the UK. They do it right. I mean, it is an adult-only experience, and from what I hear from people that have been on board, I haven't myself, is it's really very, very different than any cruise ship that you've ever experienced. They have a private island that they don't own, but they have a beach club on it in Bimini, which is supposed to be phenomenal. I mean, absolutely phenomenal, with an amazing lazy river pool and just amazing amenities. And the ship does dock in Bimini. I mean, so I think the concept is sound. Anything Richard Branson touches usually does well. And I think the company has a bright future. And they are growing. They just, launched this one ship. They built another one, which is coming out soon. And I think it's onward and upward. Virgin Voyages, they renamed, obviously.
What does a cruise ship look like in the next 10, 15 years? Like, what are people looking for? I mean, great food, pools, spas. Okay, done it, did it. Where are we with, what's the next thing? Like, what's the next thing we're looking for?
I think experiences, in the ports are really important to guests, to create memories of their cruise vacation. The ships are getting larger. I think in the future, there'll be more sea days and less port days because the ship itself, many of them are a destination unto themselves. I mean, you walk on board a Royal Caribbean ship and, it's everything is there for you. The retail, for example, on Royal Caribbean is phenomenal. The retail on Norwegian is phenomenal. All these ships have sophisticated onboard retail with shops and jewelry and diamond stores and watch stores. I mean, the same brands you can buy in the ports, you can buy on most of these cruise ships. So shopping is a real big part of it. But I think they're going to get bigger.
They're finding people are spending as much on board as the tickets themselves cost. So obviously, it sounds to me they want to continue to try to capture all of that spend as much as possible.
Absolutely, yeah. I mean, they're getting more and more. There's more of a footprint allocated for retail on board the ships. It's a big part of the experience. And the ports, the shore excursions are being changed a lot. To create more interesting shore excursions rather than a bus tour. You get a chance to go to a family in, let's say in Bermuda, and you can actually have dinner with that family in their home as part of a shore excursion. It's kind of meet and greet the local kind of concept. So these things are changing. People thrive for these experiences, and many of them are being delivered by these cruise lines in these ports of call. But I do believe that the ships will get larger in size. You'll see 6,000, you'll see 7,000, you'll see 8,000. I mean, the ships, because some of the ports can't accommodate these ships because they're so large. So I think you're going to see more sea days, and the ship will become the destination in the future for many of them.
And are you seeing there's some of these ships that actually have VIP sections where it's like almost a different hotel, if you will.
Yeah.
A different brand. Explain that, and will you see more of that?
Yeah, there's two cruise lines that come to mind that do it very well. The MSC does it with a concept called the Yacht Club, which is kind of ship on top of a ship. It's kind of like a Ritz-Carlton on top of a Holiday Inn, for example, where you have an area, also Norwegian does it with the Haven. They do it very, very well. You have an area where you have your own spa, you have your own gymnasium, you have your own private pool deck, your own private restaurant. The only time you need to leave that area really is to go to the shows at night or to be in other parts of the ship, such as the casino.
But sign me up for that. That's what I want.
I love that. So, Bill, that's just very much like what we've seen in the hotel business, where you have two different concepts in one building. In Las Vegas, you've got the regular rooms, the suites that are usually a different thing, a very high-end type of thing. I love that, creating different things. But as cruise ships are getting bigger and bigger and bigger, they're also becoming smaller and more specialized at the same time. Right, Bill?
Right. They are. There's a great need. Matter of fact, Norwegian on their newer ship, which is coming out, and it's a very large ship, but it's very, very upmarket, and it's catering, to a very high-end clientele. It's it's almost like the entire ship. It's almost like a Ritz-Carlton, but it's the Norwegian brand.
Right.
It's a complete shift of what they did before. And then, of course, the Haven, which lives there on top of the other decks. When the Haven generally was positioned either forward or in the middle of the ships, now it's all the way aft. So you really have this privacy, which is phenomenal. I've experienced it a few times, and you just feel like you're on a private yacht, even though there's 4,000 other guests on board the ship. You never see them.
Yeah, I'm all about that. I like that. I want to go cruising, and I want to be by myself. So I want to make believe nobody's on the cruise ship with me. I'm that guy. I don't need to socialize.
There you go. I'm with you. I did enough of that as a cruise director. I know.
Well, I couldn't. You know what? When people say cruise director, it's the only job that I have a visceral reaction to, that I actually get ill, because I watch the cruise directors and I watch, how people interact with them, and they're like rock stars, and they're completely inundated everywhere they go, and it looks like it's like you can't breathe. That would be the least. That's like being a general manager of a hotel, but you're controlled by the guests. At least as a general manager, I can walk out the door, I can go hide in my office. But as a cruise director, you are programming all the time, and you are basically entertainment.
You are. I mean, when I was on board, I had about 25 people under me and organizing all the entertainment, the activities, actually hosting many of the shows, hosting the main shows, hosting the deck games, things of that nature. And at the end of the night, I mean, it's about an 18-hour day. At the end of the day, you can't leave the ship, obviously. You go back to your stateroom, and people eventually see you come and go from your stateroom. So occasionally you hear excuse me,
Oh, God.
it's raining out. My travel agent told me I was going to have a sunny cruise. What are you going to do about it?
Oh, my.
All right,
I had a lot of that, you know.
That's funny. But what is the craziest thing anyone's ever said to you or done, or what's
Oh,
your?
so I mean, people who have never been on a cruise ship, you know, they're out of their normal environment. They ask you really stupid questions. You have to answer them with some degree of, you know, clarity. But you know,
Are there going
I've
to
had
be
people-
waves? Are there going to be waves?
yeah, they're going to be ways. I mean, I have people ask me, do the busboys and waiters sleep on the ship?
I imagine you get that question a lot. I imagine.
And I used to say, no. At night, we lower the lifeboats and we sent them home, and they come back in the morning.
Yeah.
The other one was, you know, do these stairs go up or down? You know?
Wow.
Stairs go up
yeah.
or down.
Oh, my
Yeah.
God.
Yeah,
Well, speaking of stairs, you'll probably need to check out the stairs in the multi-level funnel suite that we were talking
Oh,
about.
wow.
That's pretty awesome, huh?
Yeah,
Yeah.
I was doing a little research on this, and you could get this, believe it or not, for as low as $13,000 for September of 2022, which is during hurricane.
How much? How much?
13,000
13,000 for 7 day, right? I think, Glenn?
during the lowest point of the year in the
That's
middle
not
of
bad.
season. Yeah. So that might actually be for a 4-day bill. I don't want to say 4 or 7. I'm not 100% sure on
Right.
that, but
Right.
I'm sure it's 5 times as much like the peak season, and even more so on the debut cruise.
Yeah. Anthony, you would love that. Apart from the casino, it looks pretty nice.
Listen, I'm all in on cruising. There's a person I live with called my wife that is all out on cruising. She used to be the cruise person. She's won't go on cruising anymore. So that's going to be tough. Yeah.
Okay.
You know, we were talking about some of the cruise ships getting smaller. Right now, we've been focusing on the big mega ships and stuff like that. But I've noticed over the last number of years, river cruises, particularly through Europe, have really taken off. I like the idea of doing that. Very different than feeling you're with thousands and thousands of people. There might just be 100, 150 cabins on that, for example. How are you seeing that trend going, and why are people into it?
River cruises is growing. I mean, even during the pre-COVID, it was growing dramatically with companies like AMA Waterways and Crystal Cruises, which was a 5-star experience on the rivers. The ports are very intimate, and the beauty of the river cruise is that the rivers are only so wide, so you have moving scenery going by on each side. You know, for example, on the Danube, you know, when I took the Danube River out of Budapest, you have beautiful castles on one side and vineyards on the other, and you arrive in these little ports, and you arrive like right downtown. The riverboat just docks downtown. You walk off, and you're having coffee with the locals right away. It's a great experience. Very different from large ships sailing. There's not a lot of activities to do on board. Sometimes they have special lectures that come on in the evening, you know, to talk about the vineyards or talk about the destinations. They have a piano player. Maybe that's the extent of the entertainment. But the beauty of it, you get to mingle with 100 other guests, and you get to call them friends after the next couple of days because you keep bumping into one another and you know them right away. It's a great experience, and it is growing dramatically. And I would highly recommend river cruising. I've been on many of them, including Viking, AMA, and Crystal. They're all sensational.
That the average age is over 50, and so a couple questions. How many cruises have you taken, and what is the best dining experience you've ever had on a cruise?
I have taken to date, well, including my work as a cruise director, I've been on, I think, 350 cruises.
Woo, that's a lot.
Yeah.
So how many days on average? So how many on average is a cruise? 4 or 5 days?
7 days, 7 day rotation. Yeah. Miami to Miami, Fort Lauderdale, or, you know, in Alaska, Seattle. So in Europe, I've done them in
So
Europe
you spent
as well,
about 7 years on the water.
12 years.
12 years. Wow, my mess up. Wow, 12 years.
Yeah.
That's pretty.
This is what you look like after 12 years on a cruise ship. I know.
Well, you look pretty calm and relaxed. Seems like you got yourself a good gig over there, Bill. One of the things that I've also noticed about cruises is that they've really put a higher focus, not just on food, but partnerships with well-known food celebrities and stuff like that. How has that changed? What came first, the expectation or setting the stage to create that expectation? And why have they moved in this direction?
I think that, you know, to separate them from other cruise lines, they have these relationships with well-known chefs For example, on Holland America, Chef Rudy Soderman, which is now the corporate chef of Holland America, has an amazing reputation and has many restaurants on the ships, and we'll be opening one now on Carnival as well. The chefs have a tendency to bring people on board cruising that have never experienced cruising because the chef is there or because there's an affiliation. Sometimes the chef actually sails. If it's a well-known chef, will be on board a particular sailing, and people book that because they want to meet the chef. The fellow who owns the French Laundry has a relationship with Seabourn Cruise Line, for example. Many chefs are related to the cruise industry. Many of them work for the cruise lines, but many of them are outside chefs that just have affiliations and help them plan the menus and select the food.
Yeah. Everything's pretty much frozen on ships, right? So they seem to do a great job with that, because when you're on land, everyone's like fresh, but they seem to do pretty high quality. How are they able to pull that off?
Yeah, the logistics of provisioning a ship are just mind-boggling. If a ship is on a normal itinerary, like a 7-day itinerary where it leaves Miami and next week it comes back to Miami and back and back and back, it's very easy to provision a ship. But you take one of these upmarket ships like Seabourn, where they're on a world cruise, and 1 week they're in Singapore, next week they're in Hong Kong. So logistically, they have to have, the food ready to board for the passengers who are taking the next cruise. And they do a great job at it. But there is a lot of logistics involved. Sometimes the ships miss port because of bad weather. Right. So the food is waiting in one port, and then they have to make a contingency plan to get it to the next port. But they always have enough on board for at least 2 cruises.
Oh, so I have a question for you. A very important question.
Sure.
Where's the poop go?
The poop
deck.
It goes to the poop deck. Yeah, no, they have obviously containers that hold all the waste, and then at the end of the cruise they deposit it the way they should deposit it, and there you go.
So now
where do they deposit it? Where do they deposit it?
Usually in the home ports. They have a contract with a company that comes take the waste, and then they just.
Weren't there some cruise ships that used to dump the poop out in the ocean?
Yeah, not only poop but other trash as well. Yeah, but that has stopped because that was a large blemish for the cruise industry. But now they're all following rules to the T.
Now we go to the poop deck.
Now, Bill, now they're also focused on trying to be a lot more environmentally friendly. One of the things that the cruise industry has been beaten up about is how much fuel they're using and what damage that does. How are they addressing this issue to be a little bit more sustainable and more friendly towards customers that are interested in participating in companies that focus on that?
So some of the new ships are equipped with engines that are more environmentally friendly and don't burn as much fuel. And some of them are looking at alternative sources of fuel to be even more environmentally friendly. They're very conscious of this. In the ports, when the ships come in, the reefs and the areas around the islands, there has been some situations where the ships have maybe had an adverse effect on the environment. But the cruise lines have all gotten together, and they're all very positively pushing forward in an environmentally friendly way. And the consumer is very conscious of that, and they do select ships based upon, how they treat the environment. That is a big part of it.
Yeah, makes that's super important going forward. Bill, my cousins went on an awesome cruise to Antarctica. Right? Did that through National Geographic. And unfortunately, I had to curtail it because it was just as COVID was beginning and they canceled like in the middle of the cruise. But our adventure cruises and stuff like that starting to take off, where you could do something that seems very risky and exciting, but then you come home to the safety and security of your nice plush boat.
Yeah, the adventure expedition cruises, adventure cruises is another category that's growing quite fast. For example, Antarctica is a destination that years ago would get just a handful of ships. Now it's becoming like St. Thomas with the number of the ships that are scheduled to go into Antarctica. Ow. It's over populated with cruise ships, and but that experience is amazing. I've never been. I would always like to go to Antarctica. I'm scheduled to go next year on Seabourn, but have not been up until now. How about you guys? Have you been?
As a person that has been to Antarctica about 3 years ago, just go. Yeah, there's no explanation. You just got to go.
I just go to get the big orange jacket. That's really what I'm.
No, I got the big, what do you call it, Canada Goose jacket. the funniest thing ever. And I was actually thrown in the sea with the big orange jacket floating like
Oh, you're
this.
kidding?
Oh my God.
Yeah. I
Oh my
have pictures of that. I'll post. On
Oh my God.
And
What
so,
ship were you on? You remember?
no, I was doing a TV show.
Oh, wow.
So they put me on one of those tanker things and threw me in the ocean. But
Oh, wow.
what's funny is I get this really, the best Canada Goose jacket you can buy. And I start taking the name tags off because when you're shooting a show, you can't have the labels on the jacket. You would have thought I stabbed my daughter in the head with a knife. She goes, "What are you doing?" I go, "I have to take the labels off." She goes, "Why?" I said, "First of all, I would anyway because I don't like labels on my clothes. And second of all, I can't have labels on, I can't wear the jacket so I took all the labels off and she got very, very upset. But Antarctica is one of the coolest places. Oh my God. And I eat crabs in Antarctica that are probably the best food I've ever put in my mouth. We just literally
Hawaii?
Yeah, we just literally went through the ice. We took them out. We put them in boiling water. We ate them. They were as big as my head, and they were absolutely amazing. Actually, yeah, that's it, man. That looks like the ship that I was actually on. That ship. Look, try if you find a picture of how they throw you in the ocean and they put you in these orange suits, and they, and it's funny because you can't move. You can't move, so like they have like a a rubber outline, so you can't float away. And then like me and my camera guys, in order to get in the shot, they had to pull me, and it was just hysterical because you really can't move anywhere. So people were pulling me, and it was just. I love Antarctica. It's one of those places I actually can't explain. Like I can explain Hawaii, I can explain a lot of places. I can't explain Antarctica. You just got to go.
Someone told me it stirs your soul. It really
That's it.
Hits you at the core because it's and the eerie silence of being there is just.
It makes you emotional, and it makes you very emotional and very thankful, I guess, and really like. For me, it made me realize, like, what the hell are we doing? Like what are we doing to this world, to this earth? When you're there, you realize, like, this is the way life is supposed to be. Like, we just screwed everything up.
Yeah. Did you bond with the penguins when you were there?
Oh, me and the penguin. I have one right here. You want to meet him? I call him Glenn the Penguin. Matter of fact, Glenn was a penguin. I taught him how to talk and walk.
Yeah,
there you go.
He fired me from the job because I wouldn't dress up nicely. So
it was one of the coolest places I've ever been on earth. Really,
yeah. That's pretty awesome. So, Bill, what is next for cruising? What's the next big innovation? Not just ships getting bigger, but things that are really going to capture the imagination of consumers going forward.
I think that the technology is becoming a big part of it. On some of these ships now. Princess has a medallion that they give you. It's kind of, you can wear it on your wrist or you can wear it on your lapel, and it kind of anticipates your needs. They monitor what you order during the week. Let's say if you order a bottle of Perrier at lunch, the next day that you're having lunch, the Perrier is on your table. They try to anticipate your needs through this technology. This technology will open your stateroom door. You don't need a key anymore. You just walk by the door with it and boom, it opens up. So I think technology is going to play a huge role going forward in cruising, and will make the experience a little more tailored for each guest so they feel a little bit more special about the experience. It's not one size fits all. This technology will tailor the experience per family on a particular cruise line. Princess is doing this. MSC is doing this now. Others, Carnival is doing this. So I think that's a huge part of what the future will look like. Facial recognition is being used a lot now. When you board the ships, you don't have to show your passport because all that's been pre-sent to the cruise lines, and you just go through a scanner and they take your face and you just walk right on board the ship. So the seamlessness of getting on and off, because the cruise ship experience is amazing, but getting off the ship is a pain in the neck sometimes, with the queuing up and going through the terminal and finding your luggage. So all that now has been taken advantage of with technology, and the experience is much more seamless than it ever was.
Anthony, let me just jump in with a quick show note. So the technology he's talking about actually was created by some of the people that worked on Disney Magic Band technology.
Correct.
I did an interview with John Paget, who was or may still be their Chief Experience and Innovation Officer. Got to
He
go
is.
look in the No Vacancy database. This is a show from 2017. So go check it out. We get into the whole thing with where that technology came from. So that was
Yep, there you go. That's him.
So what I'd like to see, do you think this is going to happen anytime soon, where the buffets are 0 calories?
Yeah. That's listen, if they could do that one. And the buffets are going away too. You know, the midnight buffets that you and I enjoyed, they're very rarely have them anymore, especially because of COVID and social distancing. But when I was on a cruise ship, the buffet, man, that was people would queue up at midnight.
The midnight buffets were good for.
Exactly. I mean, that and the baked Alaska that they would walk through the, through the dining room with the flame that they discontinued because of the fire hazard. But the buffets were huge, and they don't do them anymore. But I mean, the food on board, I must say, has improved dramatically. Yeah. But I do miss the buffets. That's the old joke. People would board as passengers and they would disembark as cargo. They would eat so much food. They paid $1,000 for the cruise. I want to eat $1,000 worth of food. So that's
what are they doing with the cabins? I mean, are cabins, because they're getting more people on board, are they getting smaller, bigger, more luxurious, or they are what they are and they haven't changed outside of the Virgins and things like that?
The footprints on the existing ships, obviously they are what they are, but on the newer ships, there's a tendency to build larger cabins and to make them look visually larger than they really are. Celebrity has a thing where you can actually have a backdrop. It looks like you're looking at an ocean or a destination, and it extends the actual length of the cabin. It's amazing how they did this through their architects. So you go into a space that normally is X number of square feet, but it really looks and feels larger than it really is. And more cruise ships are cognizant of that because guests like to be in the cabins, obviously in between meals to watch a movie, and they want to be comfortable. So they are adding more amenities and trying to increase the square footage even on the newer ships.
I remember when my kids were very small and we were saying we had 3 of them, we had twins and then we had the baby. And we're like, you know what, to save money, we're going to just take an inside cabin. Never, ever again will I take an inside cabin. Forget about jail. I felt it was worse than jail. It was for me personally, I will never do that. Marek, I've never cruised where I had a deck where I can sit out on the deck. That's my next cruise. Next cruise is I'm taking a big ass cabin and I'm going to have a nice deck and I'm going on a deck. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, when I first boarded the ship, as an entertainer, a magician, I had a cabin that was, oh my goodness. Put it this way, it was so small I had to go outside to change my mind.
Yeah, that's what I said when I was in the Hooch in Honduras. Before we wrap up, Glenn, I have one more question. But
then I got a question after that. Go for it, Anthony. No, you go first.
So, Bill, I hate to indulge you, but I'm going to do it.
Sure.
Show us a card trick.
Okay, so let's see here. Do you like magic? Do you like David Blaine and some of these guys like David Copperfield?
I like people that blow my brains out.
Magician or more like Houdini, where you have to do these stunts and stuff like that. One of the coolest things, Bill, is you remember? I think it was called The Magic Show on Broadway in the 1960s.
Oh yeah, with Doug Henning.
Yeah, I saw that.
Doug Henning. Oh my God, there's a name.
Remember Doug Henning?
Is illusion. An illusion is magic. Thank you.
Yeah. He was great. I do mostly sleight of hand with cards. I do a lot of card stuff.
Most of magic is the coolest stuff.
Where you take a deck, just that kind of stuff. But no, it's really nothing. I can tell by the applause.
Yeah. Wait, hold on.
No, it's okay. No, it's too late. That's okay. It's okay. So anyway, here I got one for you, Anthony. I'm going to show you the cards and just remember one. Anyone you like. You got it?
I can't. Like your fingers are blocking. So do it one more time.
I got. Yeah.
Wait. Okay, got it.
Matter of fact, here, I'm going to show you the card in the bottom. That's easier. How's that?
Okay. No, I already picked one. I got one in my head.
You got one? Okay, now watch this. I'm going to shuffle the cards. There's many ways you can shuffle a deck of cards. This is the Mexican shuffle. That's one revolution after another revolution. Watch. This is the Jewish shuffle. That's a Passover. These are the jokes, by the way.
If you pick the card that's in my brain, I'll fall off this chair.
Anthony, this is amazing. Anthony, I have the deck of cards here. I shuffled them. The cards are on my palm. What was your card, Anthony?
8 of hearts.
8 of hearts. The 8 of hearts, Glenn, watch this, is the 10th card from the top. If I snap my fingers, it is now the 5th card from the top. The 3rd card, the 4th card. Your card is now on top. What was your card?
8 of hearts.
8 of hearts. Not only has your card risen to the top, but it has changed to the Ace of Diamonds. Any questions? Thank you very much.
All right. That was great.
Thank you.
So,
Thank you very much. Thank you. Thank you.
Now I'm excited about a brand new cruise that's going to be happening. Not just any type of cruise, no, a space cruise. The Galactic Star Cruiser coming to Walt Disney World Resort. I think the reason why I say this is because I think they're taking a lot of cues from where cruising was. We're going to try to reinvent how cruising can be done, and maybe some of that stuff will go back to cruising. Am I right in a correlation between these things?
I think you're 100% correct. 100%. Yeah, I really do. Yeah.
It'll be cool.
I mean, you're talking about space cruising too?
Yeah, well, the new Galactic Star Cruiser is going to be a spaceship. So you pull up.
I mean, I'm ready. I'm ready to go. I would love to be.
There's going to be these great screens and stuff like that have a totally different field of depth that they're doing. All sorts of really interesting technology.
I would love to be the cruise director on that one. And Anthony, maybe we can get him to put a casino on that too.
Yeah.
I met a really good entertainer when I was on, and if he's watching this, he'll kill me because I forgot his name. But he's a singer and a comedian. He has a guitar and he does a whole bit with the guitar. And he was one of my favorite entertainers ever on a cruise ship.
You remember his name? No.
Yeah, it'll come to me or I'll Google it in a second. But now, are you going to see? This is going to sound weird, but
Sure.
are you going to see like celebrities, rock stars, or big name comedians do residencies on cruise ships?
They have in the past, especially during the inaugural cruises. For example, Pitbull took out one of the Norwegian ships. He was on there for the inauguration. Occasionally, when you have a new ship, either the godmother or someone connected with the ship is a well-known entertainer who also performs on the ship. So that does happen. And more entertainers, fairly well-known entertainers who just don't have venues to perform in anymore because there's less and less, come to cruise ships. It's not uncommon to see a well-known act on Royal Caribbean or Norwegian, and you can get up and close with these entertainers. They do a meet and greet, and it's an opportunity really to cruise. James Taylor, matter of fact, was on the Queen Mary. He took it from New York to Southampton, and the guests that were on that ship had a chance to have an intimate concert with him and meet and greet up close and personal. So yeah, that does happen, and I think more and more times that will happen in the future.
Well, one of the cool cruises that I would love to go on is they have something called the Jam Cruise. It's 5 days of hippie jam band music. The last one I believe was 18 or 19, had like Galactic, Les Claypool was there, Mo was there, Lettuce, Lotus, Pigeons playing ping pong, all these bands that community people will know about. I love that idea. Really mixes up the whole concept of cruising to me.
Theme cruises is huge, especially revolving around like country music stars, and they usually market them through their fan base online, and they fill up like super fast.
Yeah,
and they've actually had poker cruises too, which
they do. There you go. That's good for you. Yeah, they do poker
stars like Daniel Negron, that kind of stuff. Anthony, yeah.
I'm actually looking for my friend. But say that again.
Yeah, like with the poker stars, like the top player.
Oh yeah, They do that all the time.
Wow, that's pretty cool.
I can't find them.
Bill, before we wrap up, any final words on cruising in general, and then please provide us with a good plug about Porthole Magazine and all your stuff out there.
Sure. No, the word is that the cruising is coming back. It's going to be bigger and better than ever. So don't be nervous about sailing. The ships are safe. The cruise lines have gone to great lengths to make sure they are. There's so many varieties of cruise lines. There's a cruise for anyone's budget, any destination, you name it. They have it, from the luxury to the expedition to the large ships. Cruising is hot, and I highly recommend it if you have not cruised to try it once, and you will be hooked. I promise you. There's no better vacation out there. And to learn more about cruising, you can follow me on porthole.com, which is our website that we update cruising information almost 3 or 4 times a day. On our YouTube channel, Cruise Control.
Yep.
With me, Bill Panoff. Good. And social media, I'm on Porthole Cruise Control. And everything we do revolves around cruising. It runs through my blood, and I live, eat, and sleep it. So I really appreciate this opportunity, and really great to meet Anthony and Glenn. Thank you so much for the chance to chat with you guys.
It's interesting in talking to you because I don't know much about cruising, and it sounds like when people talk to us on this show, it's like it's so seamless because Glenn and I have been doing this a long time, so we can kind of answer any question about hotels, almost any question. And I love the fact that every time we had a question, you had an in-depth knowledge of it, not only from being there and cruising, but also as your business. So it was absolute pleasure. And how is the magazine business these days?
The printed magazine business is a little bit challenging. So we have pivoted, which is the word of the year. We have pivoted to digital. So our publications, we produce 40 magazines. Many of them are custom magazines for cruise lines. We do some hotels, but the one that revolves around cruising is Porthole, and it's all in a digital format now. But we're hoping to shift back to print the beginning of next year.
Great.
Wow. Cool. Thank you, Bill. We really appreciate you being here.
My pleasure. Thank you, guys. Hope to meet you guys in person. If you're ever in Florida, love to meet you in person.
Yeah, that'd be awesome. Let's go to a buffet.
I have one more for you, Anthony. You ready?
Ace of Diamonds. Go ahead.
Hold on. Ready? Watch this. Watch. Thank you very much. Thank you.
All right.
Bill, I think Bill.
He'll be here all. Thank you so much.
Give him some applause. He deserves applause.
Thank you very much. Round of applause.
Thank you. Thank you, Bill.
That doesn't sound like applause. It sounds like an album scratching.
I don't know. Colleen says my hair is starting to match my shirt. Yeah, it sure is. I got to get it cut so it looks a little less gray. But I'm not ready for just for men.
So let's do a podcast from a cruise ship.
Yeah, we really have to do that. We were trying to get together with the Virgin people before all of this started. So we'll see what happens. We got to get back on all of that.
And I just the Algonquin Hotel is opening in June, and they're inviting us to do a podcast from the lobby.
Hey, congratulations. And Anthony, today the plaza reopens.
Yes. And you know what? I said to myself, can I get to the plaza today? And I don't know if I can, but I'm going to try.
Yeah, good. Well, I hope you make it over there. I sent a note over to the managing director, said we should do a show over there as well.
Yeah, I have a cell number. Do you have a cell number?
Nope.
Let me see. I think I do anyway.
Well, we probably shouldn't give it out. We're still on air.
No, I'm not going to give it out. I'm going to see if I can find it so I can text them.
All right. Yeah, text them. I really appreciate that. All right, Anthony, any final thoughts before we cruise into the weekend?
Yes. I once won a belly flop contest on a cruise ship when I was about 29 years old.
Excellent.
You know how I did it?
You fell off the diving board?
I did a front flip and belly flopped. And it was the first time I ever did it, last time I ever did it. And to this day, I have no idea how I did it.
Wow. Congratulations.
Thank you very much. Thank you.
All right, everybody. I want to thank you all for being here for another great week of shows. We'll be back next week. But if you haven't had enough of me, can't imagine that you have. Join us tomorrow at Friday, 5 p.m. for Friday Night On. And you won't believe, Anthony, who the guest is on tomorrow's show.
You know what? I don't believe. Did you ever write a book?
Yes.
All right. So who's the guest? And tell me about your book. Who's the guest tomorrow?
Let's bring on the guest for a second. Oh my God, producer Suzanne.
Oh.
Yeah.
You got to tune in now, Anthony.
All right, I will.
Yeah.
No, I won't.
Tune in. Dave will be on as well. No, he won't.
There's two things I'm very honest about. I will not help you move ever. So I don't care if you're my next door neighbor. I'm not moving furniture, and I'm not watching a podcast I don't want to watch. And I love Glenn and I love you, but I don't want to watch it.
That's a great endorsement. So
you're just gonna miss out. It's gonna be pineapple-licious.
Yeah. All right. He's just sad that we haven't asked him to be a guest yet. But
exactly.
We'll get there. All right, everybody. Suzanne, thank you so much. Yeah, Anthony, it's funny because I haven't had you on yet because you were so anti doing the drinking podcast things when we were doing that last year on Friday.
You know why? I'll tell you. Can I tell you why?
Yeah, please.
This show, I react. I love reacting. I don't like having to work. And when I did Hotel Impossible, it was work, but it was just all reacting to situations.
Yep.
When I did 5-Star Secrets and I did Extreme Hotels, I was hosting and I was working, which I loved it. I would take that show back tomorrow if they would give it to me. But it was like I have to pay attention. Mm-hmm. I don't want to have to pay attention on a Friday night.
No, you don't. But if you're a guest, you won't have to pay attention. You'll just have to have witty.
Yeah, but all right. How about if I just get really, really. Hey, New York, I don't smoke marijuana, but New York is legal to smoke marijuana. Why don't you get stoned on Friday night?
I don't know. I haven't gone that far yet.
I think that's a potential, Glenn.
It really is. Maybe we'll just have the Great Smokeout series or something.
Why not, man? Why not? It's legal now. You don't do anything
Hey,
wrong.
listen, let's partner with our friends in Times Square. Maybe we could make that happen.
Yeah.
Over there. All right, everybody. Thank you so much for being here. Oh, yeah. Don't forget the adapters available right now by Sean Worker and myself, Glenn Hausman over there. Check out the adapters.net, not just for this, but we're doing lots of great content. Every single week, Sean and I are putting out videos where we talk about adaptation and innovation that's happening around the world and how you can take our takeaways and apply that to your businesses, your lives, your personal lives, and all of that kind of stuff. So thank you so much for investing in the adapters.
So someone just said we're cracking them up. Who is that? Or guess what?
Michelle. Bring her.
Oh, Michelle, I heard about you. I already heard you were cracked up. Sorry, Michelle. Michelle's like a very loyal guest, and I'm crapping on her.
I know. Digital Woodstock. I like that one.
Yeah.
All right, everybody. Thank you so much for being here. Really appreciate you being with us for another great week of shows. We got lots of exciting stuff coming throughout the entire summer. We're getting back out there. We're doing all sorts of fun things. We can't wait for you to join us.
Where are we going to be in June, which I can't wait. I'm like losing my mind.
Yeah, man. We got a week in Vegas. We're going to be doing Virgin Hotels. It looks like we're going to be doing Cosmopolitan. It looks like we're going to be doing a special show from downtown with the Fremont Street people and some other folks. Looks like we're going to be doing stuff at the grand opening of Resorts World all in 1 week.
And how many dinners and drinks do you think you and I are going to have together?
One?
Yeah, probably. Why, Glenn? Why, Glenn?
Listen, Anthony and I love each other. We love spending time with each other, but we have a code when we're in cities with gambling. We get together, we do our thing, we show our love for each other, and then we go in our opposite directions.
Because Anthony goes to the poker room.
Anthony goes to the poker room, and I go and I look at slot machines and wander around casino floors and do all of that kind of stuff.
What's interesting? Out of the craziest thing
Yeah.
that I remember out of the pandemic, outside of the tragedy of the, well, I don't want to go back, but all the tragedy, but the most ridiculous thing I've ever seen in our travels during the pandemic was when we were upstate, and New York State made them clean the chips. You could not use the same chip, and you had literally a big pot that you would have Italian grandmas, make pasta on a Sunday. They had these casino employees washing the chips as you were playing. So you would play with the chips, then the chips would go back to the dealer would put them in the pot, and they would clean them. It was the most ridiculous thing I've ever seen in my life. We have masks on, we have plexiglass on. This was after everybody said you can't get COVID by touching a surface. And they still, up until the end, had them clean those chips. And to this day, that stands out to me as, okay, that's just government going a little too friggin' far. That's just stupidity. And then you had to be closed by 9:00 in a casino.
Yeah.
Crazy.
Fortunately, a lot's changed over there. I don't know about the cleaning the chips, but the good folks over at Resorts World, Catskills, did an amazing job. I think we're going to be heading to Aqueduct when they open up their hotel.
It's not Resorts World. They did a great job. It was it was the government told them that it actually took away from the experience. I remember I was walking through the casino. I had a bottle of water in my hand. I went to get, and the gentleman comes up and said, "I'm sorry, you have to put that out." I said, "Put what out?" You have to put your bottle of water down. I go, "Why? You can't drink on the floor." He was very nice, but I was just like, okay, it closed at 9:00. They're washing my chips in front of me, so I feel completely, disconnected. And now I can't even have a bottle of water if I'm sitting at the poker table for 5 hours. Crazy.
Yep.
And again, understand all the protocols, but I was in Vegas all these months, and I didn't get COVID, and they had really great policies. Anyway, I'm sorry. I'm just
all the casino gaming companies have done a great job. Government can be rather onerous at times. We're glad that we're moving into very positive times right now. All right, everybody, thank you so much for being here. Really appreciate it. Subscribe to our newsletter. Text the word hotel to 66866. And, of course, get our audio-only feeds because you're out there walking the dog. You're commuting again, so you want to hear us if you can't handle looking at Anthony's gorgeous face every day. Find us on Apple Podcasts. Find us on iHeartRadio. Find us on Stitcher.com. Connect with Anthony and me at Anthony Hotels and at Traveling Glenn, respectively. Anthony, any final words?
Yes, Suzanne, our producer, wants to come to Vegas with us.
Yeah, well, I think she also wants to go on a cruise with us and Suzanne. We definitely want to have a thing like that too, and maybe
No fun for you, Suzanne. Work, work, work.
She's laughing backstage. All right, everybody, remember we got one life, so blaze on and
Be kind to yourself.
see y'all next week and tomorrow. Unlike Anthony, who won't be watching Friday Night Audit at 5 p.m., but I know.